तो क्या इंडियन जुडिशरी एक कॉलोनियल माइंडसेट की इंस्टीट्यूशन है और क्या इट इज द जुडिशरी विच इज फेलिंग द सिस्टम? Nowadays you can find that ki debates on this. Recently just one advocate has even told that be in limit, the country is burning because of judiciary.
The country is burning. The country is burning with the judiciary. These are my words. Don't cross the limit.
This is a case of one high court in which one advocate says to judge of the high court, be in limit. So you know that ki nowadays debates are getting heightened on criticizing judiciary, vilifying judiciary, that ki judiciary has now suddenly become a problem. And over that, the debate is it is having colonial mindset, that judiciary is having its summer holiday, which we say that it is colonial mindset. Generally we say colonial mindset in that case which is linked to our British system. So when we say anything as colonial mindset, so does it mean that it is linked to British system? And or it is coming since British time? And if anything is coming since British time, can we say everything is colonial? Then we have to discontinue so many things which are linked to British era. So the question is that today we'll talk that what is colonial mindset and whether judiciary when it is taking summer holiday or let's say ki other holidays, so can we say it is a colonial mindset? Is it due to colonial mindset? And then is it right to compare judiciary style of working with banks, police, bureaucracy, the way it is being compared? So this is what we'll try to address today in this video. So let me tell that colonial mindset, if you go to Google and see what colonial mindset is defined, it says colonial mindset is a way of thinking that results from colonization. It results from colonization and characterized by a belief in the superiority of colonizers. This blah blah, then it goes on writing. Means it is based on characterized by a belief in superiority. This is how. So whether judiciary has superiority mindset when it is taking summer vacation and other such holidays, then are we aware about how many hours judiciary works actually? Especially Supreme Court when we are talking. And then is it comparable to bureaucracy? Do you know how many hours bureaucrats work? How many hours police works? And then who has how much pending works, you know that? We also know that bureaucracy is known for red tapeism. This bureaucracy is known for status quo. So let us focus on the other aspects that when judiciary is taking its holidays, so how many holidays it takes in a year? As per Supreme Court Observer record, what we find is that 89 days. Judiciary takes in calendar year 89 days holidays. Then how many days it works in a year? It works according to same Supreme Court Observer. The facts are that Indian judiciary works 190 days. Then what are the conditions of other judiciaries in the world? In other countries we can say it is Singapore. The Singapore works 200 days and that is the only country in the world which works higher than Indian judiciary. Indian judiciary is second highest in terms of working days in a calendar year. And you know US and UK, how many days actually they work? The US has 68 days in 1 year and UK has 149 days in 1 year. It means if you say UK, US, other countries, that they work less than our Supreme Court in one calendar year. Does it mean that they are also having colonial mindset? So don't you think that saying judiciary just because of its summer vacations and other holidays, it has colonial mindset? Both seem to be having no link. It is more to do with style of working of judiciary. As per judiciary means judges defending their holidays, what they say, they have to work every day, they work 14 to 15 hours. They work beyond their office working hours. Their working hour right now in case of Supreme Court is 10 to 5. But Supreme Court works beyond that also. They say, as per again reports, they work 14 to 15 hours every day. And then they have to also study themselves about the cases which they have to pronounce judgment. And that takes them to even 23, 24 hours. At times, even they do not take proper sleep because of the case they have to pronounce judgment. So, and at the same time, you should know that it is Indian judiciary, it has given us so many rights, so many innovative interpretations, so many judgments which have strengthened faith of people in Indian judiciary. Then suddenly how we have started criticizing judiciary? Is it a right way? Is it right criticism? Certainly people have different views and we cannot say that people cannot criticize judiciary. But saying that it has a colonial mindset, think before that. Because if you are saying that judiciary has colonial mindset, it means all judiciary in the world have colonial mindset. This is one aspect. The second aspect is that we cannot compare judiciary to bureaucracy, police, and etc. Let's compare judiciary to judiciary, bureaucracy to bureaucracy, parliament to parliament, and we know that our parliament works even 60 to 70 days. Why don't you talk on that? In fact, parliament is the apex institution of the country. It represents the will of the people, most important institution we say. Then why there is no debate on parliament working with the same force? Certainly we do not expect that when we talk about one institution, we need to talk about another institution. We will not go into that aspect, but you should be aware that parliament works in a year 60 to 70 days. And it is on record, you can check PRS source. During 50s, 60s, around first 2 decades, it worked around 130 days. So almost it is working half of what it used to work. So the question is that let's talk about problems to solve problems rather than to vilify and malign the image of the institutions with vested interest. And therefore, we should try to enlighten you by the facts. We can have selective facts, and on the basis of selective facts, we can influence anyone. But if you have a comparative look on that, so judiciary may have, even if it is working, it is called 100, let's say that 190 days, there can be scope to improve 10, 20 more days. But all judiciary means all countries, whatever the judiciary they have, they take holidays. And why they take holidays? So there is justification for that. Even government has also, in 2005, in parliamentary question, it was presented by the government that there is no any, let's say, question of talking on their summer holidays, etc. It is not feasible to reduce that. That is what government parliamentary question answer in written it is given. And recently many judges, including Chanchud that time when he was Chief Justice, he defended it. Try to understand that they are not the people who do not work. They are the people who have lots of hard work. talk about other institutions and think whether they really work hard. So let me give you fact about bureaucracy, which has been given by Subbarao in his book, who is a retired RBI governor and ex-IAS officer, that it is on record that 25% bureaucrats are competent, 25% bureaucrats are corrupt, and 50% bureaucrats are complacent. So you can decide yourself, you can view yourself that what are the problems. We are certainly not trying to make problems complex. What we are trying to tell you that we cannot know which institution is efficient simply by comparing one institution to another. Means if you compare bureaucracy to judiciary, we may not be able to assess what is the benchmark. We need to compare bureaucracy, let's Indian bureaucracy to others bureaucracy, Indian judiciary to others judiciary. Certainly, let's say that even if we compare, we need to also have in mind that any institution should work in the light of its own country environment, its own country's social ethos. What judiciary takes holiday, we are no one, we have been telling that we are no one to defend it, but we will tell that it is the government, judiciary, they need to address that matter. If there is any room to improve, certainly it should be improved. Change is the only unchanging reality.